For more on the historic climate deal and the implications, earlier I spoke with Paul Bledsoe. He's a former White House advisor on climate change. I asked him if this agreement can be implemented.
I think this agreement is going to kickstart a clean energy revolution around the world and change investment patterns for businesses, investors, companies of all types. I think it's also going to change government policies. This is a turning point in the global energy infrastructure, and it's really hard to say how deep the emissions might be. I think we have a significant opportunity to meet the 2 °C goal, but it is going to take more robust policies on behalf of all the major emitters, including the United States, the EU, China, and others.
Paul, more recent scientific reports have said that staving off that amount of warning will not actually save the planet from the worst effects, which some say are rising sea levels. How do we address that in moving forward?
It's a good point. We have to be all hands on deck when it comes to sea levels. For example, we can phase out a super pollutant called HFCs, or hydrofluorocarbons. We can do that next year through the Montreal Protocol, and that would reduce warming by more than ½ °C and reduce sea level rise more than all the actions we're going to take on CO2 over the next 20 or 30 years. So it's not just about CO2, there are other super pollutants we need to address.
Who is making the biggest economic sacrifice in your estimation in doing this? China, India, or the US?
I think each country is going to have to bring about a new set of policies to incentivize different kinds of investments. It's not really about sacrifice, it's about creating the incentives in such a way that mobilize capital to cleaner energy. I think there's every reason to believe that the United States is going to grow just as the state of California hasn't while reducing emissions. So will China, and so in time will India.
Were you around the halls when people were talking about this? Give us a little bit of color or flavor of what was going on behind the scenes there.
There was a strong conviction that we were going to reach agreement here because so many countries had made deep pledges. 185 countries made commitments, mobilizations of billions of private and public dollars, companies expressing their determination to support such an agreement, individual governments, 100 world leaders last week. I think the world is now ready to deal with this problem.
And that was Paul Bledsoe.